idea that there was a contest going on at the bar that night. It was cold outside, it was winter, it's about 4:30 in the evening, and my wife and I just wanted to get a beer. This was a bar in Hurley, Wisconsin. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's in the Upper Peninsula. The Upper Peninsula is that area in northern Wisconsin between Lake Michigan and Lake Superior. It is Iron County, Wisconsin is actually what it is. And it's a tough place. It's a former mining town. In fact, the dish that they serve in Hurley, Wisconsin is a pasty. I don't know if anyone knows what a pasty is, but it's what they used to serve to Welsh coal miners. I mean, this is a tough place, and the people are tough. And in fact, the people all look a little older than their actual age. I think you get my drift. So we go into the bar, and it's a warm bar full of people. And everyone seems to know each other. We sit down. Now, we are tourists from Illinois. And I don't know if any of you here have ever heard the term fib before. Fib is a blanking Illinois bastard, and that's what we are. Now, my wife has only become one. I converted her. So my wife is actually originally a cheesehead, but she moved to Chicago to marry me, and I converted her into a obnoxious Illinois person who only goes up north for the holidays. That's what we were doing. We were up for the holidays. We were doing a little skiing after Christmas. And we thought it'd be great to tuck into the bar and get a beer. So we sit down, and a waitress comes up and asks us what she can get us. And I order, of course, 2-point beers and an order of curds. And they are heavenly. Now, if you've had cheese curds in Wisconsin, but they really know what they're doing with cheese curds. I mean, they know what they're doing with cheese, but fried cheese, even better. So we're sitting there, and all of a sudden we hear that they're going to start the contest. And we didn't know what the contest was, but we know there were raffle tickets. And I realized that I really hadn't spent a lot of time in bars like this. And I turned to my wife and I said, "Isn't it great that we came here instead of going back to the hotel room?" And she said, "I don't know why you like these places, Jim. I grew up in places like this. I grew up with people like this. You think this is some kind of novelty." She has a point. I grew up in suburban Chicago, LaGrange, Illinois. The closest we had to a bar that looked like this bar was the bar that my father and his tennis partner went and had beer and burgers at. And I can guarantee you that bar never held a meat raffle. Yes, you heard me right. Tonight's entertainment was a meat raffle. How many of you ever been to a meat raffle? Okay. You can't raise your hand because you're in the story. So, for $1 a ticket, you can put your name in for the meat raffle. And if your number gets called and you're so lucky, you get some meat. This might be the appropriate time for me to explain that my wife is actually a vegetarian. So the idea of buying tickets for a meat lottery was not something she was too excited about. But buy those tickets I did. We bought 10 of them. I put 5 on her side of the table, 5 on my side of the table. So the announcer started announcing the winners of the raffle. And it started out small. Some hamburger patties, ground turkey. They were getting up to chicken wings. And it was great. I mean, people were really excited. And so when they read off the number, a person would hold up the ticket and they'd run up to the front. And then they'd come back and they usually would show the meat to the people in the crowd. They would fly out. Sometimes they would pass them around. But they all did something with the meat that I hadn't expected after they had passed around, which is they all tucked them into coolers that these people have all brought and had under the tables. So they were prepared. So we were enjoying or at least I was enjoying this spectacle. I'm not sure my wife was. And finally the MC says, "Okay, the next one up is the T-bone." And holds up the T-bone. It's an impressive cut of meat, U.S. Prine T-bone. Probably 1.5 pounds, big piece of meat. And he reads off the number. And we look around and no one's getting up. And so he reads the number again. And all of a sudden my wife says, "Oh my God, I think I won." So I said, "Honey, you got to go up there and get your winnings." So go up there, she does, and people are going crazy. I mean, it's a T-bone. And I'm the only one who knows she's a vegetarian, but she goes out there and she collects it, and people are, they're congratulating her, and she's showing it to people like Vanna White, and she goes back to the table. And, we don't have anywhere to put it, so she just puts it down on the table. And so at that point, the MC says, "Okay, and now for the grand prize." And he reaches into a cooler and pulls out the biggest tomahawk steak you've ever seen in your life. I mean, this thing must have been 2.5 pounds of steak. And he holds up to the crowd, and all of a sudden, like a little fake drum roll starts in the background. And the excitement is building. I mean, even people who've already won are kind of getting excited looking at their tickets. And so he announces he reads off the number. And I look down, and to my absolute horror, I realize, oh my God, I won the tomahawk! So I walk up to the front, people are cheering, they're really excited, and I get up there and the MC says, "Well, congratulations, what a victory. I mean, so please tell us where you're from." I said, "Chicago." He says, "What, Chicago?" And I said, "Yeah, Chicago." And just like you, everyone just sort of, very quiet as I walk back to the table. I look at a few people's faces, and they kind of give me that weak smile, like you don't know if they're supportive of you or just doing it out of common courtesy. So I sit down, and I can tell, we have this now, 3 pounds of USDA prime on the table, and we have no cooler. And we're staying in a hotel in Hurley, Wisconsin. And so my wife is like, "We got to get out of here." And I said, "Yeah, well, what are we going to do with the meat? I mean, we can't just leave it here. I mean, it'd be really insulting to everyone if we just left all this meat here." And so we're trying to figure out what to do with it. And the waitress comes up, and she's like, "Oh, guys, congratulations. Wow." And I'm thinking, she's probably thinking, we rigged this thing. But she's actually very nice. And she's like, "Can I get you another beer?" And we're like, "No, I think it's time to settle up." And we're trying to figure out what to do with it. And, we look around, and people are, they're kind of staring at us. And they're thinking, these fucking assholes from Illinois, they think they own everything. But anyways, then it hits me. There's really only one option at this point. And so when she comes back to give the bill, we said, you've got to take the meat. And she's like, "Oh, I can't. I mean, it's like 3 pounds, it must be $25 worth of meat." We're like, "No, really, better you than us." And she's like, "Oh, thanks, guys. I mean, I was telling them you were really bad people. Just lie." So we left that bar that night, and a little warmer. We left those Raffle winnings behind. The vegetarian and the city slicker from Chicago.
All right.